Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm Chris Lewis. I am the Public Image Chair for Rotary District 6360, as well as DGN for 2728. I'm really excited to be able to have you here tonight to talk about an important topic that every club is every club has to deal with in one sense or another. All of our clubs have events, we have activities. We're trying to get people to come to those activities, and sometimes it feels like we're, kind of hitting our head up against the wall as we're trying to figure out how can we do this in the best way possible. And I'm really excited tonight that we've got Jenny Zerrenner is with us, and Jenny's going to give us a presentation on some best tips and tricks that we can follow to be able to promote our event and do it well. So I'll turn it over to Jenny. Thanks, Jenny, for being here.
Thank you. For those of you who have not met me before, I am the president-elect and public image chair for the Rotary Club of St. Joseph, Benton Harbor. So I'm going to talk about how we promote our events, and then hopefully that can help with some best practices. That when you promote your event with all the tools available at your disposal for public image, you can help build awareness, generate excitement, drive attendance, and then you connect to the right audience. So you have an event. There's a lot of key information to gather. Maybe you're not the one putting on the event. Maybe the event is being done by another member of your club or a committee. Whoever's putting the event on, make sure you get the information from them. And you want, the usual date and time and location. That's the pretty important stuff. But also you want to know, like, who does it benefit? Like, is it for your club? Is it for an organization? Is it community enriching? So who benefits from this event? You'll also want to know what the purpose is. Is it going to be a advocacy or a fundraising? Is it like a family event? You just want to know, like, what's it going to do? And then any applicable extra information. So if there's certain rules that need to be applied, or this is a family event, or this event is for only adults, anything that's specific that will need to be put in the press release, you're going to want as well. So the first step, at least that our club always does, we make the ad. So we are working on promotion for a walk for multiple sclerosis. That's going to be in June at one of our nature centers. So I looked at Canva and I just searched walk for MS flyer, which you can see up here. And Canva is great because it gives you different templates that you can use. If it's got like a little crown in the corner, that means it's a premium thing. You don't really want to pay for it if you don't have to. But Canva's great, but there's also other ones that you can utilize for your event, like Illustrator, or even using PowerPoint. You can make some pretty good flyers there. I just prefer Canva. And this flyer, you're going to be using it on your socials. You're going to want to send it with your press release, or if you have any co-hosts with the event, you can share it with them via email. So this flyer is going to go in a lot of different places, and it's pretty handy to have. You want to make sure you have like the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. So your flyer can tell them exactly what they're looking for. You can also go to the brand center under templates, and that will give you some promotional materials. So you can make flyers there as well. They don't have as many fun templates like they have on Canva or Illustrator, but it's it's going to be good because it's from the brand center, so it's going to follow all the guidelines. Which brings me to the next point is make sure you're using the correct brand usage. You don't want to use branding mistakes. If you have a flyer and you're like, I think this is good, but I'm not sure if I should use the logo this way, just reach out to us and we can help you, talk you through it. We also have on our YouTube page a lot of really good videos on press releases and brand usage. Just check out the YouTube page for more videos like this one. That can help as well. And if you also, you can go to the Learning Center, and the Learning Center has some pretty great videos about advertising and brands. So here's an example. As you saw on the previous, that first template, it says join our community walk. I used that as a template, and I just updated it. So you don't want to overflow your flyer with information. The flyer is like a sneak peek. that they can use and say, okay, I want more information. Then they can go to your socials or your website. And that's great because then it brings traffic into your social media or your website. If you put too much information on the flyer, that's great because it can help them know exactly what's going on, but it might be too busy and it could turn some people away from your flyer. But make sure if you have your logo, make sure it's kind of in a standalone spot. But this flyer is one that we whipped up. So next is you're going to want to post it. So you can have your social media. They have events pages on your social media, which you can see over here where it says, Facebook events, and you go to create new event. And that is where you can make your event on Facebook. Instagram doesn't really have events, but Meta goes through Facebook for those. You can also look at local events pages. So we have a radio station that is part of Michigan's Great Southwest, and it's called Town Crier Wire. And they have an events page, and so does our local St. Joseph Today Welcome Center. They have event pages also. So you can go and check any kind of local events, and sometimes you can post your stuff there. If you have access to upload any events or flyers to your website, you can do that as well. And of course, send flyers to your sponsors if applicable, because sometimes they can share it as well. For the socials, there's some tips. You know how we had all that extra information that I said don't put on the flyer? You're going to want to have all of that special for your press release. That's also useful for your socials too. You can create posts that lead up to the event, but remember you need to tag any sponsors or hosts and do posts on the sponsors, and that kind of helps to drive engagement. So for our event, we're co-hosting it with Surrett Nature Center. So leading up to the event, we might have some posts about Surrett Nature Center, and that can grab viewers for them. And it also helps to do some community enriching as well. But you also want your social media to be engaging. If you want them to come to your event, you need to have engaging content about your event. Don't just post reminders of the events or just hit share and that's it. You want to actually put some pretty good content in there, and it kind of preps the audience and makes them excited for it. So after I have the flyer and I've got everything loaded up on the events pages, that's when I start to make the press release. And sometimes the press release, I like it that it can ladder back to our socials, especially when we're sending it out to the media team. So we have templates for this in the Rotary Brand Center. And you're going to want to have your 5 W's, who, what, where, when, and why on the press release as well. And any questions you anticipate the media might have for you, try to answer them in the press release. And of course, with the press release, just end it with the 3 hashtags or pound signs. So you can see the the press release on the side. Up on the top where it says contact, you're going to want to make sure that if it's for an event that you're not familiar with, you're just doing the promotion for it, make sure you put down the contact info of the person who knows as much about that event as possible. Because if the media is going to contact you and say, I want to get some quotes on this event, if you have no idea what's going on with that event, that's not going to be very helpful. So but make sure you get permission from them. Don't just throw their phone number on there and leave them to the wolves. And in your press releases, you want to have a great headline, and the media might change your headline. They change headlines on my press releases all the time. So don't get upset if they don't like your headline, change it. They almost always change mine. And then the tagline kind of adds a little bit more flair to it. So this is a press release that we made about 2 weeks ago, and it's going to be for something that's going to be happening this week. But we just prepped the press release early. That way we don't have to worry about it, less headache. And then it has more time to go through the proper channels. So you want to have the information about what's going on. And then in the next paragraphs, all the nitty gritty information. And it really helps to tie in your event. So now you got your press release, you got your flyer, you got your events, everything's ready. So this is when media contacts come in handy. So if you have any media contacts, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. I found most of my media contacts just from searching. We had some that already existed when I took over as public image, but also I scooped up a couple other ones by going to ribbon cutting events, and I made connections. You see someone walking around with a camera and they're taking pictures. If you have a business card, just walk up and introduce yourself and just say, hey, what kind of press releases do you look for? What kind of press releases do really well with your publication? And that is really great because you might have someone who, oh, I only do sports, but they might be interested in press releases for the track meet that St. Joe and Harbor has. You want to make sure that if you have your press releases going out, they're going out to the right contacts. You also can look for media contacts of all different kinds. It doesn't have to just be newspaper or magazine. We've got news station on here. You can see we've got websites, and one of them is our radio station, fellas. And they do stuff that's through social media as well as radio station, and they have podcasts. So even if you have podcast media contacts, hey, those work too. So when you send the press release, you can see my example up in the corner. That is from back in August. I have more contacts now, but that one you want to write in the headline, press or a subject line, press release, St. Joseph Today, press release, put in what the grant is for. I am losing my mind. You put in what the press release is for in the subject line, and you can see when I put my media contacts in, I blind copied all of them. And that's good because then if they want to hit reply all, they're not responding back to all of your contacts. And also it adds a little bit of anonymity to it. And also make a media contact list. I've got a list on my email, and then I also have a list in one of my notebooks so I know who I'm reaching out to, and I can leave myself little notes like they only want local for St. Joseph or Benton Harbor. They don't want something that is in a different county. So it's good to have that information. When you send information like a press release over to your media contacts, add any photos that you want included, or you can put that flyer in there. So we have a couple of posts. The next few slides are going to show some more examples for you. In this first one, you see our president, Renee Bora. And this is, I shared one of our press releases had gone through the Herald Palladium, which is one of our newspapers out here. And they did a wonderful article on Renee. And so I shared it through our page. And then I also wrote on it, and I thanked one of my media contacts that's new and said, like, special thanks to Lauren Rice from the Herald Palladium for this piece. And you write a little bit of information about what it is. It kind of draws people into really know what the event is going on. And this is leading up to the Silver Beach Pizza fundraiser, which is in the next picture there, where it says, tomorrow's the day, who's getting pizza? And that is from our Facebook, where we went to add events, and we added the Silver Beach Pizza event. And so the one of Renee is leading up to it. So when you're leading up to your events, definitely post about them. Don't just wait until you made the event. Now don't do anything else. No, you still want to advertise the event and kind of get people excited for it. And then after the event, these are some examples of what you can do afterwards, because some people might not be able to make it, but they might want to still see what happened, what went down. Was it a lot of people? Was it a good turnout? You want to show that it was fun and engaging and everything was great, because that might make someone want to be interested in your events in the future. And also shows what we're doing for the community and what we're doing for just everyone that is involved. So with the polio fundraiser, we can see how it impacted. And so you see that we tagged the right people that we were supposed to tag. and that's good too. And you can see sometimes even in the second picture, there's a lot of people that liked it and reacted to it, and there's comments. Make sure that you're interacting with people as well. So not only are you leading up to the event and then you have the event, but then you got to do some post work as well. made it through it. There's my contact information. I would have put my phone number on there as well, but this is going up on YouTube. I probably shouldn't do that. But there's my email. If you have any questions after this, you can always reach out. But does anyone have any questions right now for me?
A quick question. You say our YouTube channel. Whose YouTube channel are you referring to?
Oh, district?
Okay.
Dick, were you asking a question? You were muted.
Was I? Yep, I was going to ask you a question, but you're obviously telepathic. Jennifer, wonderful presentation. Thank you. Um, Actually, I have lots of questions. On the photographs that you put out with press releases, do you send them as attachments? And are there certain size limitations that one would have to know?
So when I took over, we had just been putting the photos in the press release, like just attaching it into the document. And my media contacts, when I kind of asked them, like, hey, is there anything you want us to change about this? Just trying to, build a rapport with them. They said they prefer them as attachments. So instead of putting it like physically in the press release, I just send it as an additional. So it would be like there's a press release attachment and then there's a photo attachment, and just do all that separately.
Do you have to worry about the size of the photograph?
I usually don't, but if it asks me the size, I usually just choose like medium. But sometimes, depending on how many photos you have, it might the email might kick back and say, please attach less or less resolution or something.
And obviously, you've got your secret blacklist of media contacts. Are there sources on the internet for media contacts with different news agencies, newspapers, that type of thing?
Yes, I was just looking for it. Looks like I don't have it on here. I when I was looking for the one from MLive, which is all of Michigan, if you go to their website, and then they usually have on there like a contact us, and it says for any media inquiries, please email, and then they have an email address. And that's where I scooped that one up from. For the other ones, it's just definitely like blind calling and emailing based on their website. So like the radio station out here, I just reached out through Contact Us and then just said, hey, I'm looking for media contacts. Where can I send press releases? So a lot of it is just
legwork.
Locating them.
Gotcha.
And Dick, one of the things that I'd say, I worked in TV for a number of years, and when people reached out, I mean, we get a lot of contacts every day, and lots of people sending stuff in. So the ones that a lot of times that I would pay more attention to at first are ones from people I know personally. So, especially for clubs, I always say, build those one-to-one relationships and find out how you can build their value as much as you want them to build your value.
Wow.
And so that's something that I would tell any club is, find those local people because they're looking for stories and they're looking for good stories. But you want to also give them the information in far enough time that you can get on their calendar, and that it's not like the events this week and you're reaching out for the first time. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Especially with some of our media contacts, they're actually Rotarians, so that helps us. And then a couple of contacts are former Rotarians, so they are really good at telling you, like, hey, please send me more of this, or please send me less of this. And that helps too. Like, we like feedback. But yeah, and as it says in the chat, definitely try to do it at least 2 weeks before. We aim to get our press releases sent out a month prior, just to be safe. But we have sent one out like within like a 2-week deadline, and it didn't go well for us. So the earlier the better.
One of the things that I put, and I don't know if people saw it in the chat, if your club is a nonprofit and you have that 501 status, Canva does offer free professional accounts to nonprofits. So if if you have a foundation, if you have a nonprofit side of your organization, you can take advantage of that and use Canva for your club in that way.
100%. I love Canva.
Good to know. Thank you. I know it's a great tool. I've never used it extensively.
One of the benefits is that you get access to everything versus only the non-professional ones, and you get access to the full photo gallery that they have versus only a limited number of photos. So, um, so I don't know. Does Portage have a 501?
I believe we do. I believe our charity foundation is a 501c3.
Okay, so you could use that to be able to access. They're going to ask you some questions. You're going to have the number and provide all of that.
I have a feeling we might have a Canva account associated with our club already. It's just I wouldn't be the primary person to have done that.
Yeah. Jennifer, or I want to say thank you too. Just like Dick said, your presentation was spot on and great information. Um, I don't have other questions because I really enjoyed this. So I don't know, does anyone else have questions? Mark or Nancy, anybody else, Matt?
Well, I do have an interesting question. I've been in the medical device industry for 30 years, and when we put press releases out, they usually go out on the wire, which we would typically send out like 24 hours in advance at most. And they would make it. I think when you're talking local, it's probably a different beast, right?
Yeah.
You're working with a much smaller, much more resource limited team, and they plan things a little bit further in advance. Is that correct? So that's more the dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, the ones that aren't totally local are like ABC 57, because that's more of like the greater Southwest Michigan area. And then MLive would be all of all of Michigan. So but MLive also, like, they have one that's just Ann Arbor, and then they have MLive press releases that they accept that's just like the Jackson area. So they're very particular, but most of our media contacts are Bering County based.
I'll
And
tell
former
you,
Rotarians.
I was going to say, I'll tell you from the local TV end, the local stories that we got were looked at first, more so than we had to deal with the wire stories, but a lot of times the wire stories were more national in scope. And, we did have national stories, but we were always interested in the local stories. So.
Yeah, our newspaper contact, she told me that she really likes press releases that are like Bering County local, like super local, but that benefit the county, like that benefit our St. Joe, Benton Harbor area. So if it's about something we're doing up in by the district with Kalamazoo, if it doesn't really touch St. Joe, Benton Harbor, they'll usually just kind of bypass it for something else. So they love the local stuff.
Hey, speaking of making media contacts, Matt, do you know Mike Nadolski?
I do not.
He was the Mental Center director and is now involved in radio, as I understand it. And I even think he was involved in, I know there are more than one Jump Lake radio stations. I don't know if that's what you have behind you. Where are you out of, Matt?
I'm in Portage.
In Portage, okay. So I'm just trying to make contact.
We are the Rotary Club of Portage, it says up here.
Excellent. Okay. I'll find him.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else tonight? Otherwise, short and sweet and packed with information, Jenny. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Nice job.
Absolutely. Christopher, do you have regular kind of presentations like this on
Yeah.
public
Yeah,
Can we-
every month. So our next presentation is, and I'll tell you in 1 second, I got to look at the date. Our next presentation is going to be on January the Thursday, January the 29th. We're going to be talking about taking compelling photos and videos. It's up on DACDB's events, so you can register for it. And looking forward to talking about that. We're going to be kind of helping you to kind of look at the photos that you're taking, being able to talk about those action photos and the showing Rotarians in action, because we are people of action, right? So we need to be able to show that and not show those, not focus on those check pictures in our clubs. We got to get away from those and be able to really show what we do and show Rotary doing good in the community. So we've got another Rotarian that's going to be doing that presentation. So I'm looking forward to that. And then every month we do that, and then we also do an open session every month. We had one today. Next month it will be on the 20. Let me see here. I'm looking for, what is the date next month? It might be, I don't see it. I'll get that out to everybody. But we have open office hours for public image as well, where we allow for anybody from a club to come in, ask their questions, get support. And it's a way, it's on January 8th. So 12 o'clock on January 8th, we'll have open office hours. And anybody can come in to ask questions and get support and anything that they need in regards to public image. So those are the next events coming up.
Great. Thank you for that information. I'll put on my calendar, and I don't know if you keep an email list of people interested, but I am. We're going to have a big event, the Lakeshore Rotary Club, that I really need to gear up and learn how to. And we have a public relations person in our club too, but I want to get geared up for this too. So
What's the event, Dick?
oh well, we're spearheading the building of a walking mall in downtown Stevensville.
Oh,
That's
okay.
going to be maybe a $200,000-$300,000 project, and we just about have a rendering, and it's going to be just game changing for the village of Stevensville, and partly because of the fundraising, I really need to start getting the word out about this, and this is something I'm just continuing to learn about. When I was district governor and going around the district, and clubs would show you their great projects, and I was shocked to see on so many of them you couldn't even find a Rotary logo, the wheel, anything. Back when Coldwater Noon was in the club, they had donated $50,000 to the local food bank over 5 years. And there was nothing about Rotary when I went and visited the food bank. I was just shocked. This has been a continuing issue. And I know I live in St. Joseph. I know how well the St. Joseph Rotary Club does on this. And I'm learning from good people.
I'm very familiar with Stevensville. I went to school at Lakeshore.
Hey, cool. We'll get you to transfer over to our club before you get too wrapped up in this. Maybe it's a little late for that. Maybe it's a little late for that.
Bill
Right.
Scaletta was my principal.
Fantastic. Well, thank you I really enjoyed the presentation. So,
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you all for coming. Happy holidays to all of you. And if you need any assistance, feel free to reach out. And otherwise, have a great evening.
thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Jenny, Chris.